everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. Today I'm going to be doing a top 5, and these are my top 5 underhyped books that I have read in 2016, 2017. And one of them I have talked about at great lengths, but it's still underhyped. So, gonna re-mention it. Actually, most of these I've talked about before, except for one, which is the one I'm going to start with. Guys, this is Grace. She is beautiful. She's amazing. Can we? I have all the feels. I have all the sadness and regret of it ending. Like, it is, I wanted it, more of it. I wanted another 100 pages. I could have gone another 100 pages. I thought this was beautiful, wonderful, excellent, perfect, superb, just epicness. This is the story of a woman who dies, and this happens in the first 5 pages. She dies, giving birth to her child. She is murdered by a group of men who believe that she has murdered a white man, and she is black, so she must die. And she is murdered, and her baby is taken from her and saved by one of the men who murders her. So, the whole book is told from her perspective, the murdered woman, in the afterlife as she is reflecting on her own life and watching her child grow. So you're seeing this child grow from the perspective of her mother, as her mother is a ghost and standing with her and standing by her. You are hearing the mother's perspective as she looks back on her own life and what she experienced on the plantation and what she experienced after trying to run for freedom, and how she ended up in this situation where she is being hunted and murdered for what they're saying she did wrong as a crime. It is phenomenal. This book is phenomenal. If you enjoy Alice Walker, if you enjoy Toni Morrison, I think, and even Zadie Smith, if you enjoy any of those women, this book is definitely paying homage to its predecessors. It is just so beautifully executed and so well written. It is a beautiful debut. It is striking. It is feminist. It is bold. It is raw. And it definitely admits to being the follower of those greats. And it pays such tribute to those. And it gives nods to them throughout the book. It is wonderful and absolutely so well done. I can't rave about this enough. It is stunning. And anyone who likes Black literature or has an interest in soul lit, or who is trying to read more diversely, or has an interest in the plantations and what that was like and slave life, anything like that, this is just stunning. Absolutely a must read. Do it. Next, we have Each Vagabond by Name. My cover is a little beaten up, like she's got some dents in her. This is a beautiful story. It is a story that takes place in Pennsylvania, in a small town where a group of people have moved outside of the town, and people are accusing them of being thieves and evils and gypsy-like sorts of people, and there are 2 people in the town who are trying to understand this group of people that live outside the town and that are outsiders. And this is a really interesting story about otherness and those who have qualities that are different from their own. It is a really well adapted story, and it really stands on its own. It's a different story, and it's not like anything else I've read. I really enjoyed this, and I think it is one of those really underhyped books. It is published by Uno Press, who was kind enough to send this to me for review, and I don't think it will ever leave my shelf because I really enjoyed it so much. Then, you guys, I can't do an underhyped video without talking about this baby. This is my everything. This is my heart, my soul. It is just one of the most beautiful books I've ever read, but on top of that, it is the product of so much love and energy from a woman who I now truly respect as a human being as well. Heather Tucker has been nothing but kind to me. She has been so easy to contact, so easy to speak with. She has sent me my own copy of this book signed. She's just been a gem and so wonderful to work with, and I'm so happy and blessed to have come into contact with her after my love of this book became so relevant. I think that this book is one of those books that will change me, or has changed me forever for the better. This is the story of a young girl who has seen her father commit suicide and is now kind of going from family members to live in a situation where she's supposed to be safer, and she has an imaginary seahorse friend, but she sees everything in fairy tale technicolor. It is beautifully done. It is the child narrator done well and done as it should be. I think this is one of those books that will change the face of child narrator adult fiction. I think it's absolutely superb, and I think that everyone should read this that likes magical realism, that likes child narrators, that likes anything a little more fairy tale, whimsical-esque. I think that for those who are not sure about the fairy tale whimsical-esque feel, this is a great place to start, because you're not reading it as if they're trying to play up the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs kind of fairy tale thing. It's just you're seeing the world through the perspective of a little girl's eyes, and you get to relive that childlike awe of everything, and it's so well executed and so beautifully done. I highly recommend it, and I think it is one of my all-time favorite books. I know. It is. It's one of my all-time favorite books. This is Fat Man and Little Boy by Mike McGinnis. This is a fabulous little novel. I absolutely adore this. This is a story about two people who are in Hiroshima after the two bombs have gone off, and they are the representation and human form of these bombs, and they bring destruction and terror wherever they go. But as the story progresses, you realize that bombs and war have become normalized, and these two people are welcomed into society in a different way than they should be for what they are and what they represent. I think this is really a beautiful story. It is so well equipped to deal with this really tough topic, and it's really well executed. I think it's one of those stories that if you're not sure how you feel about war and violent weapons and weapons of destruction, and the bombs that were dropped on Hiroshima and Japan in general during World War II, and then after that subsequently were dropped in other locations from other countries on other countries, it's a really, really good way to dive into your own thoughts and ideas and what you think is being represented to the public as war, and what you think should be represented to the public for war, and how war has become normalized in society, and it shouldn't be. So that's a really beautiful book. And then the last one is this, Of Things Gone Astray. Now, I've talked about this a couple times. This is by Janina Matthewson, and I really enjoyed this. This is a short story-esque collection. I think I would call it a short story collection, but I keep it on my fiction section because it runs through. It's like a river. You kind of drop off at each location and go over a couple pebbles and some rocks, and you get some bumpy ways along the way, but they all run together and all meet in the same kind of location. They all have the same themes and carry the same ideas, and it really flows beautifully, and it holds up, and it feels like another world and another story has come through, and it's so beautifully done and so well executed. I really think that this book has been hauled more than it's been spoken about, and I think that's a shame because it's so well done. I really enjoyed it, and I think it's one of those beautiful, underhyped stories that really deserves praise and excitement around it. I think that for me, the ideas that are in the story of loss and abandonment and sadness and aging and devastation of character and loss of your own sense of self are really well done and really well executed. And I think that for me, I wish that there was more to this. And I wish that there was more of this. I'm not sure if this author has done anything else or if there is anything else like this out there, but for me, it was absolutely brilliant and I loved it. So those are my top 5 underhyped books that I have read in the last year to year and a half, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.